This is topic D on page 29, entering cell data.
Excel has an incredible array of information types that you can work with in your workbooks. You'll need to be familiar with what these data types are and how Excel deals with them. Having a working knowledge of how Excel sees data is an important first step to developing the skills you'll need to crunch your numbers and keep track of your important information. In this topic, you'll use fundamental Excel features to help you enter data. One of the most fundamentally important things to understand about Excel is that it is not a what you see is what you get type of environment. Often the value or text that appears within a cell is not what is actually stored in the cell. I mentioned this earlier. A simple example of this is the result of a calculation. If you have a formula entered in a cell, by default, the cell will display the result of the formula. So they have a very simple example. I'm going to go over to cell P2 just to get out of the way of my regular data here. If I enter the simple equations or formulas always start with an equal sign first of all. So equals 1 plus 1. So this is what is in the cell. When I hit enter here, Excel is automatically going to calculate that. So what is in that cell is the equation 1 plus 1. But that is not what it's showing in the actual cell. It's showing the result. If I click back on that cell to select it, the formula bar is going to show me what is actually in the background of that cell. That's the contents of it, what shows up in your formula bar. This is the result that actually shows in the cell. So big difference there. So just like the book says, Excel is not a what you see. That means what you're seeing in the cell is not what you get. What is in there? It could be a formula, could be a function, could be, some other type of data, but it's going to show you the result here. Now, the different data types that you'll see in Excel, we have values. These are just numeric constants that do not change. So here you can see in B2, I entered the value 45,000. This is a numerical figure. If you look at the formula bar, that is actually what's in the cell. Then you have labels or text. And these are just alphanumeric text that is not used to perform calculations or store numeric values. So you can see I have sales rep, B1, I have quarter one, even though it has a number in there. Again, it's alphanumeric text. It's just a label. Then we have formulas. This would be an example here. Equals 1 plus 1. These are mathematical equations used to perform calculations or data analysis. Formulas are dynamic, so the displayed value can change if you change the cell data that's feeding the formula. And also you have date and time. So I could enter 7/20/2020. So that's a date or time entry. So again, you have values, which are numeric figures, labels or text, which are alphanumeric text, not used in calculations. Then you have formulas, which are mathematical equations to perform calculations, and you have your date and time entries as well. All right, real quick, our cut, copy, and paste options. I showed you an example here using the text overall, which I copied and paste. So I just select the cell with the text in it. I can go up to my Home tab, and in my clipboard group, here I have my copy command. If I went down to A20 and wanted this text in there as well, I could go ahead and hit my paste option. Now, for, let's say, the range L2 through M2, which is bonus and 5%. What if I didn't want to copy it to a new position, but I wanted to move it? I could select the range and I could cut and paste. Select my cut option. We get this green, usually it's moving, honestly, which this green dashed border around your range. In Excel, you'll come to know that as marching ants. Again, it's usually moving here. But if I wanted to move this selection elsewhere, I cut it, which right now it's saved to this little holding area called our clipboard. And maybe I wanted to move it to I7 and J7. Select I7, hit my paste command, and it moves that for us. So copy, we'll make another option for it, put it in another place, but it will keep the original there. Copy and paste, keep the original, make a duplicate, cut and paste, will remove it from your cells, and you can paste it elsewhere. Okay, let's get into a cool little feature here, which is the autofill feature. The autofill feature attempts to recognize an existing pattern in the data you have already entered and then apply that pattern to filling in additional cells. I'm going to move to a blank sheet here. Well, kind of blank. I can delete this. Excel will try to recognize many patterns. Let's say I was making column headers or labels to represent the months of the year. So I start typing in January. I tab over, start typing in February, tab over again. Now I'm lazy. I want to do as little work as possible here. If I select this range of 2 cells here, see this little green square in the bottom right hand corner of that range. If I hover over that, my cursor is going to change to a plus sign. This little plus sign is what we call our fill handle. And this is a work of magic. I'll repeat this many times. Favorite feature of Excel. Love it to death. If I click and drag this, Excel is going to look for a pattern. And watch what happens. As I'm dragging this fill handle across multiple cells, you see that little box that's popping up underneath it? It's showing me what it's going to fill in up to. So if I only need to do 1 year, here's December. When I let go of my mouse button, it's going to fill in all the months for me. If I wanted to take the labels, maybe I wanted 2 years, I can keep going because it recognizes that pattern. Whoops. Let me go back a little. Let go, fills it in. It recognizes that pattern. It recognizes numerical patterns. I don't have to start at the beginning. I can start anywhere. 1. Let's go down this time. 2. 3. Sometimes you want to at least do 2 or 3 so it can recognize the pattern. Select the range. Take my fill handle, click and drag that down. Look at the box that pops up. It's going to tell me how far I'm going so I know when to stop. Let's go to 30. Let go of my mouse key. Fills it all in for me. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So numerical entries, we have months, another pattern, days of the week. Let's go down again. Again, try to enter at least 2 or 3 entries, and then you can click and drag, enter as far as you need to go, however many recurrences of that pattern you need. This autofill handle will also come into play for computing calculations. Let me show you real quick. I'm going to go to my 2019 worksheet tab. Okay, now we haven't learned any equations, functions, or anything like that, so this is a very simplified example. If you take a look at the contents of cell F2, starts with an equal sign. Again, all calculations will always start with an equal sign. It's taking B2, which is quarter 1 for Andy. It's adding it to C2, quarter 2, plus D2, which is quarter 3, plus quarter 4, which is E2. So B2 plus C2 plus D2 plus E2 shows the result for me. Now, if I want to do the same calculation for all of these sales rep, I don't have to go in and individually, type that in, C2, whoops, I need to go down to, sorry, B3 for Evan. I don't have to do this. This is way too much work. C3 plus D, no. Too much work. Go up to the one that you calculated. You only have to do one. Look at the little green box there. That's your fill handle again. Double click. It's automatically going to go down and calculate all of your sales reps. Once it finds that empty cell where there's no data, it's going to stop. So it's a great feature. If you select cell F3, you can see the cell references are all correct. Sarah's B4, Jose is row 5. So this is what we call, we'll get into this, I don't want to, confuse you off the bat. It's called relative referencing. What it's doing, this cell, it took 1, 2, 3, 4 cells to the left, added it to the third cell to the left, added that to the second cell to the left, and 1 cell to the left. So when I moved down, when I filled that down or copied it using that fill handle, well then 4 cells to the left, add it to the third cell to the left, add it to the second cell to the left, and add it 1 cell to the left. Okay, so that's how it knows which cells exactly to perform the calculation on. Let me undo that flash fill real quick. Sometimes double clicking it will not automatically fill it down for you. That's fine. You can always click and drag that fill handle down. If you don't want to go all the way down to perform the calculations, maybe you only want to go a certain amount of rows down, you can just click and drag and it will perform the calculations for you as well. All right, so fill handle, best thing in Excel, I'm telling you. All right.
Your next video will be activity 1.4 on page 35.